Music artists and entrepreneurs, what's good? Mike Sarge here from MySarge.com. And just like some days you be walking around looking a little raggedy, a little bit out of sorts, some of you guys are releasing your amazing songs, EPs, and albums with some raggedy looking artwork, some raggedy looking album, EP, and song covers, and we need to talk about it. Today's episode is sponsored by Nectar Distribution, so you don't want to miss this one. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's work. Salutes to that. Alright, so if there's one thing that me and you can both agree on is this. First impressions, everything. They really are everything. I mean, imagine you meeting me for the first time or me meeting you for the first time and our clothes is dirty, hair ain't brushed, ain't combed, we still got crust in our eyes from hours ago, or Lord forbid the breath stinks.
Hi, I am very ugly, but you should enjoy the movie anyway.
And with your profession, your art, your music, whatever it is, it's the exact same thing. Before I ever get to check out what your music sounds like, before I ever get to check out what your product is like, I have to see what that artwork looks like. I got to see what that product design looks like. And it's going to set the tone. It's really going to set the tone. It's going to let me know, are you a bit of an amateur? Or are you a professional at this? Believe it or not, the way that your artwork looks, the way that your graphics look, it ultimately not only sets the tone, but it also sends a message to me about your product, about your music. For example, let's say you're going on a date with someone and you show up to their house or they show up to your house. Matter of fact, how they're dressed for that night can tell you a lot as far as their mentality for how that night's going to go. Whether or not it's something that they want to do for a long-term relationship or something they think is only going to last for 24 to 48 hours, if you catch my drift. So today we're going to put that to the test. I grabbed a couple of random covers, random graphic covers for albums, EPs, and songs, and we're all going to look at them and we're all going to critique them so you can figure out where do you stand in regards to your art, in regards to your music, and how people are, how people are perceiving if you're an amateur or you're a professional at this. So let's do this. Alright, so let's check out the very first one, and I love this one. It's by an artist by the name of A.E. The Cool. She's actually an artist that's in my local area, and she's very, very talented. Now, look, if we're just looking at this cover to me is amazing. It is phenomenal. I mean, everything from her posture to the font used to the colors in the background, it says everything. I mean, matter of fact, if we're even being honest, we could take off her album title, Forgive, and her name, and we would still get a good idea of what her project might be about. Based off the colors, the blues and the purples that are used, we get the idea that it's a more serious tone, not to mention how she's dressed and the fact that her face is covered as well. So she makes all the checks, her name's on it, the title of the project, the colors, her tone, how she's dressed, everything fits together, and it matches up. So this is a really good first example for you guys. Alright, so this one is a good example for me when it comes to bands. Because when you're in a band, you have multiple people in one shot. Sometimes you think it has to be complicated, and it really does not have to be complicated. Check this out. Dave Matthews Band. Name of the project is Everyday. Name of the song is Everyday. I mean, I like this. Even from the black and white tone, it gives you that, you get the impression from the way that they're posing and the way that the colors are just black and white that, oh man, they're about their business, they're serious, you know how we coming, you ain't got to ask no questions. So I like this one right here. So this next one I find really, really interesting. It's by an artist by the name of Mackenzie Nicole. The name of the project is The Edge. Now, the reason why I really like this one is because all of it fits together, like I said previously, right? The Edge, if the name of your project is The Edge, everything else needs to feel edgy, right? So everything about her, from the way that she's standing, from her facial expression, to her hair, to the background, right? Even to the font of her name, everything is edgy, everything is different, right? It stands off. I mean, it doesn't stand off, it stands out, so it matches, right? And this is what you want. You're going to keep hearing me say it needs to be uniform from the songs to your to the images in your cover. It needs to line up so people get an idea of what they're getting. All right, so this one, as you can tell, is a little bit different, right? All right, so this is by an artist, and if we're looking at it, guys, we're getting the impression that this photo is being used for like a meme or something, right? When you see this, you're not assuming that this guy is trying to get you to get his music, right? Whether it's for a mixtape, EP, or album, right? And I get it. A lot of people on SoundCloud or Noise Trade or these other platforms, they tend to do this where they just kind of take a picture and they just throw it up there because they're thinking, well, I don't really have the budget, or I can't do this, I can't do that. But there are little things that you can do to make it just a tad bit better. Let's start with the fact that, well, how about you add your name? We don't know who you are. We don't know if you're an artist, a comedian, whatever. You look like a stand-up dude. We can check the smile. You look cool, but I don't know that you're an artist, right? So put your name or maybe the title of your mixtape or song or project so we have an idea of what you're trying to do, all right? So let's move on. All right, so based off the last one we just saw, a lot of people feel like, well, Sarge, what happens if you don't really have the budget to do these extravagant looking album covers and pay all this money? I'm not even telling you to do that. What I'm saying is you can make simple things, simple changes. You can make simple photos seem like really good covers. For example, this one by Mike Posner. I mean, check it out. I mean, he's just sitting down with a sign that he wrote the Truth remixes, right? And it still looks like a quality cover. Still looks like a quality cover, and it's really simple. Let's look at another one. All right, check out this artist, right? Really, really simple. He's just on a road. He's got his name and the title, but check out the title is in a different color. It is in red. That's a very, very simple change to make it stand out. All right, so when we look at this one's a little too simple. All right, a little too simple, mainly because when I look at this, I don't get the impression that this is for music, right? I don't get the impression that this is serious. I get the impression that this is for your profile picture, for your MySpace page back in 2006. Anyway, look, we're not trying to clown people out here, but seriously, like, this doesn't look like this would be anything related to music. The only thing that might make me think that you're a music artist is the fact that you're wearing glasses and a snapback and you're wearing a hat. That's about it, all right? So you can make things look simple, but not too simple and bland. Now, here's a good example, and this is why I'm bringing this one up, right? So this is by an artist that I actually know. I know this guy in person, right? And he used to go by the name of Uncommon, in case you're wondering what that spelling is on the bottom of the picture. Now, he had a project, his first mixtape called Tarnished Perceptions. And he was excited to release it, and he actually made this. Now, the thing was, I knew that the picture that he used, he'd had on as his Facebook, profile picture for at least a month or two. And I thought, that's not really too creative as an artist to just kind of take your own picture, your profile picture, and then just throw a couple, just throw some text on there and then call it a mixtape, album, or EP cover. So what I decided to do is I decided that I was going to help, make an album cover for him, right? And also what helped is I had heard all of his songs because I was actually helping out with the mixing and mastering process, so I knew what the tone of the project was going to sound like. And I wanted to give him something fresh, something new. So again, this was his original cover that he made, and this is the one that I made for him. Now, granted, he did like the one that I made, and he still ended up using the one that he made, which is no issue at all, no problem at all. But I wanted to show you guys this example because the music itself matters. If you're just out here thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna get a really dope looking cover, or I'm just gonna go the easy way out because the cover is the least important portion of the music, you're wrong. I'm letting you know you're wrong, all right? When people listen to your music, it should at least match the album cover. When I look at your album cover, I should get an idea of your project. If you're trying to set the tone that it's a more serious project, I should see darker colors or maybe even some black and white tones. If it's a happier project, I should see brighter colors, lighter blues, lighter greens, yellows, things like that. So it needs to reflect what you're trying to portray in your music. And that's it, guys. Those are just some simple tips when it comes to staying on game, when it comes to your graphic art, when it comes to your album covers, your EP covers, and your song covers. Now, again, I want to reiterate this. You do not have to go out and spend tons and tons of money on getting a good looking cover, getting good artwork. I mean, especially when it comes to technology nowadays, you basically have a high quality camera in the palm of your hands with your cell phones. You can go out and take a couple shots, get friends or family members to take those shots for you at different angles and things like that, and then use all of these free apps out here and apply filters and add really cool text if you feel like you're on a budget and you feel like you can't spend all that money. That's fine. You can still make a quality looking cover with some free apps and a little bit of effort. So, what'd you think? Did you like this video? If so, go ahead and hit that like button, then hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Also, if there's a particular topic that you would like me to talk about, go ahead, go down into the comments. I do read all of my comments and I will add your suggestion to the list. And as always, be you, enjoy your life, live authentic. Salute to that. Catch y'all later.